Did you know the top 2 reasons people claim home ownership is out of reach for them is due to high interest rates and expensive home prices? On the surface, sounds legit, but when you take a closer look at their finances, their credit, their savings, their debt to income ratio, it becomes obvious what the real problem is. If you have been thinking about getting into your first home, you really want to, but you don't even know where to start, this video is for you. 3-step checklist to get you ready for home ownership before talking with a lender or a realtor. To be able to purchase real estate, the average person is going to need to take out a loan from the bank. And before a bank agrees to loan you any money, they'll want to make sure that you are a sound investment, meaning you're going to pay them back. How do they determine that? Your credit score. And if your credit score is too low, you either won't get approved for the loan, or you'll be slapped with an interest rate that's so high, it'll make home ownership out of your budget. Here are some ways you can start working on improving your credit score right now. First and most obvious, pay your bills on time. If you have any bills that went to collections, pay those off ASAP. Look at your credit report. Make sure there are no disputable errors on there that could be hurting your score. If you had unpaid bills that went to collections but have since been paid off, you can request a goodwill deletion. It's no guarantee that they'll take it off, but it's worth a shot because those red flags do stay on your credit report for 7 years. Try to keep a low credit utilization, maintaining all of your credit accounts below a 30% limit. Opening new credit lines or increasing the spending limit on your current accounts has advantages and disadvantages, so do your own research, but it could help with your low credit utilization. Diversifying your debt between installment credit, car loans and personal loans, and revolving credit cards, because credit makes up 10% of your FICO score. Keep your old credit accounts open even if you don't use them anymore. Length of credit history makes up 15% of how your FICO is scored. You might also consider becoming an authorized user on the account of someone who already has good credit and a history of paying off that account on time. Some people offer this as a service. When it comes to building good credit, there is no overnight solution. Length of credit history and payment history together make up half of your FICO score. So it does take some time to work on, and because of that, this should be one of your first focuses when you're preparing to buy a home. Ideally, you're already working on this a couple years in advance. And just to give you an idea, a good credit score for VA loans and FHA loans is 680. For conventional loans, it's 720. And if your credit score is below 540, you probably wouldn't qualify for a loan yet. That's it for part 1. In part 2, we'll talk about the 2 savings accounts that you need when you're preparing to buy your first home.